probably most people's favorite fight on the card. Randy Brown versus Nicolas Dalby. And this one, we can actually show the finish because the UFC posted cage side footage on their Instagram. So please, Dana, don't take this down because you put it on your Instagram and it's not from the broadcast. So everybody can watch this. Here it is. This was a dogfight. Yeah, they're trading. This is the end of the fight. They're both just swinging at each other. And here he resets, and Randy just loads up on this right hand. Bam. And just shuts it off. It was crazy. And moments like this are really where it shows like the UFC needs to be out of the apex. Like we can't keep having fights at the apex because moments like this happen in the apex and you're like, wow, that was crazy. Moments like this happen in Kansas City or somewhere on the road with 10,000 people and it's fucking nuts. Like the sound in that arena, the mics were clipping on the broadcast because it was so loud. Like this is what makes the sport so good. So yeah, hopefully less apex, which I don't think is going to happen, and more fights like this. But yeah, the whole first round, Randy Brown did a good job of just he's so good at fighting long, and he breaks Dalby's nose early. And I think it was actually. Can we go back one picture, Rich? Um, thank you. I think it might have been this one. It was a right hand that kind of grazed him and catches him like that and turns the nose completely. Like Andre Arlovsky broken. They were talking about Mike Perry against Luque. Um, and you're like, oh shit, that's not good. That's a bad break. And Randy Brown is so good at fighting long. He's so good at fighting long. But one thing he does a lot is, and I noticed it a lot in this fight, is, and you see this a lot in Randy Brown fights. If you go to the fights that he's lost, he usually looks pretty good in those fights until he gets clipped with something. And there's little things he does where I think maybe he gets so comfortable with his range that he's like, I'm good here and I can keep operating like this. And maybe he gets ignorant of kind of some of the like the patterns that he's repeating, and guys will eventually catch on to that. And while he's good at fighting long, if you keep fighting long the same exact way, good guys will adapt and crack you. And one of the things he does a lot is he rhythm steps a lot. He changes his stance a lot very well, and he strikes off the stance changes very well. But sometimes he rhythm steps when he's right in front of people. And I thought Dalby had a good read on that early, where he's throwing these big calf kicks, big leg kicks, and a couple times he catches him while he's crossing his feet, and that's not good. Um, and then he got a little complacent with that lead hand. And this shot right here, good timing, Rich. Uh, he doubles up on the jab, and then as he's retreating the second jab, he goes to throw like a hook off that lead hand again. So he's tripling up with the lead hand. And Dalby just steps in on that second jab and cracks him with his overhand and drops him. And you're like, oh shit, even with the broken nose, Dalby might get him right here. And once again, Randy Brown looks so good until he doesn't. And now he's on top and the blood is flowing. He's bleeding so much. And you're like, holy shit. They go to the end of the round. The cutman snaps his nose in place in between rounds. And as soon as he does it, you just see blood pour out of his nose. You're like, God damn. And I immediately pull up my phone to text Genevieve. She's already messaged me. Austin says, oof, the crooked nose. Please don't remind me. Them describing the blood going down his throat instead of down his face really grossed me out. Yeah, that's the harsh reality. And for a lot of people, they're like, how much is that going to affect Dalby? And then before the second round, let's keep it right here, Rich, for the pictures. And shout out Combat Sports Today. Shout out Phil. Thanks for joining. Watching the fights now after a night out. It's a good one. It's a good card. Some of them not so good, but there were some good fights, I should say. But in between the first and second round, I'm like, okay, he drops him. Randy Brown survived. But I'm like, man, how much is that going to affect Dalby? Now that the blood is really flowing, that can change things. But if you know Dalby, if you haven't seen his fight against Houston in Cage Warriors, it's like Cage Warriors 109 or 106 or something like that. The fight ends in the third round. Title fight ends in the third round because there's so much blood. Houston's cut up. He's got a broken nose. He's gushing blood out of the bridge of his nose. Dalby has a cut, like a 2 or 3 inch cut on his forehead, and he's leaking blood. And Goddard has to stop that fight because there's so much blood on the match that they're slipping around. And he says these guys cannot intelligently defend themselves because it's too slippery. So they call the fight. It's a no contest. And if Dalby can get through that, he can get through this broken nose. Is basically the point I'm trying to make. Second round starts. Dalby is a dog, and he's going after Randy Brown hard. He's running at him. He's throwing these big shots, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Max Holloway versus Korean Zombie, where in between rounds it was very clear that Max Holloway was going to win this fight. He was touching up Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie in a retirement fight. Uh, and that next round starts. I don't remember which round it was, but the next round starts, and Korean Zombie, you can see he was like, "I'm not winning this fight. I might as well go out on my shield trying to take this dude out." And they just swang and bang at each other until ultimately Max Holloway drops him and finishes it. And I kind of feel like maybe that was what was happening here with Dalby, where he's like, "My nose is fucked. I don't know if I can do this for the next 10 minutes. I'm biting down. I'm going to take this dude out, or he's going to take me out." And like we just watched, they're cracking each other, and Randy Brown just gets a little bit more composed there and sneaks in that right hand and drops him and gets the knockout. And man, what a fight! So good, so good. And Randy Brown, this is a big one for him. This is huge actually for him, because he's kind of been a fringe top 15 guy, and to do this in a sold out arena like this, and be pretty much the talk of the card outside of the main event. Um, That's big. So hopefully this is a shot for him to get into the rankings next. Uh, Pratis is ranked number 13 and he just lost. So he's probably got to defend that top 15 status. That's not a bad fight to make. They both just fought on this card. Jeff Neal pulled out of his fight. He's at 10. There's some fun matches for Randy Brown moving forward. But Dalby, it sucks to see, because I'm actually a huge Dalby fan. And I think Randy Brown, I think was booked against Pratis at one point already. Yes, at UFC 309, he was already booked. So maybe they make that fight. I like that fight, actually. That's a fun fight. But that's it. Shout out to Dalby. I know he's getting up there in age, but the dude is still a dog. That's a fun fight. He made that fight fun just as much as Randy Brown did.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you for watching that short clip. Just so you know, that was a small excerpt from what we covered this last Sunday, right, Will?
Yeah, we cover the entire event every weekend. So this was just a cutout from the live stream that we did. The link to that live stream is in the description. So if you want to hear about the other fights that night, it's down below in the description. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we go live every Sunday to cover events. And if you do that, you'll know for next week, and you can tune in and be in the chat and get featured on the show just like everybody else was on this clip.
We hope to chat with you live.